turned 25 this year, so well, if I do say so myself, I have some experience in the 20s zone. So these are things in this video. I just want to talk about things that I wish I sort of knew before I turned like 25. In these 5 years, things that I've discovered that if I knew earlier, I think I would have run faster, because like some of those things, when you don't know them, they basically create drama for you, and you don't want drama in life. I feel like you want to focus more on your goals and less on dramas. Okay, so let's get right into it, guys. The first one I'm going to be dropping today is, in your 20s, you'll be on your own a lot. Guys, especially if you're coming into your early 20s, I feel like in your late teens and maybe even first 2 years of your 20s, you have your friends together with you, maybe in college, uni, and you're doing things together a lot, you're applying for stuff a lot, you are moving together, you're going to classes, you're going for parties together, and then you get into your mid-20s or maybe even in your early 20s, you may need to move away from where you've been living before, and then you find yourself isolated. Guys, most of your 20s, you spend your time alone, away from friends, away from family. Even with this, spending time alone doesn't just have to do with, say, being alone like in a place. It's also about like applying for stuff alone. I migrated to the UK and I basically had to run the process by myself. This was a very personal journey. Didn't have to do with anything any of my friends were doing. I just had to decide that, okay, this is what I want to do with my life and do that. So that makes 20s really lonely, because sometimes your friends can't just relate to whatever you're going through, whatever process you're going through, because they may not be going through that same process at that particular time based on their own life plan. So trust me, guys, it's a very lonely road. Don't let me even go into living alone. That's a different conversation on its own. But I'll just say, you know what, in your 20s, embrace being all by yourself, embrace being alone. That's going to help you a lot, because when you feel like you can't exactly run away from being on your own. So if you just keep trying to like bring people into a phase where you should be alone, it's going to cause lots of drama for you. It's going to stress you and your friends and your family, or whoever you bring into the case. It's going to stress everyone out. So you just want to avoid situations like that and just embrace being on your own journey. Okay, guys, so I'm going to be moving to the second one. And second one, this one is, you're gonna lose friends. Okay, you are gonna lose friends. And yeah, this is not a very like nice thing to say. It's not something people always want to know. Maybe you've heard of it before, but personally this year I kind of experienced it even more, because like sometimes you're not even planning to lose friends, but maybe what you're going through, your current friends can like get you through that. So there's like a gap in communication. Shout out to all my friends that try to keeping up with me, because sometimes in your 20s, if you're going through stuff, it's hard to sort of like carry your friends around. I'm not just talking about my case, but generally, you know, if you are sort of like in the process, you're searching for a job, you're searching for this or that, I feel like there's one thing or the other that always comes up, and it's really hard to keep up with friendships in 20s. And sometimes it even has to do with marriage and everything. Guys, you could plan someone's bridal shower, and after their marriage, you lose their friendships. This is not even like me, like you lose their friendship rather. This is not even me like trying to be funny or anything. I'm just saying like things that I've seen happen to other people apart from myself. Yeah, like, but I try to understand like both sides of the matter, because sometimes people don't plan to do this. They just get all sucked up into like their new process, their new homes. It's no hard feelings. Sometimes it's just like people get caught up doing stuff and it just happens. So if you know this, like, I just feel like if you prepare your mind for this, I'm not saying you should go to every friend and just think, oh, that person is going to leave me after I get married. No, that's not the case. What I'm saying is like people basically, different life circumstances, may even be losing a loved one. Okay, losing a loved one is another big one, because when that happens, sometimes you may just need to distance yourself from friends, and people lose friends. My point is like big life changes like marriage, losing a loved one, moving countries, etc. Those things that you don't see coming sometimes make you lose friends, and that's okay. You may reconnect with these friends later in future, but it's just handy to know that it's very possible to lose friends at any time. That's not very nice to say, I know, but it actually happens. So yeah, it's just one thing to know, to keep at the back of your mind, so when it happens, you're like, what, why, where do I start from, where do I go from here? So yeah, it's quite handy to know that, guys. And I did a video, okay, I did a video of recent on making friends in the UK, because that's something I've seen people lose friends from back home when they come to the UK, because they can, like, or even when they migrate, generally it doesn't have to be the UK, so they lose friends and they need to make friends. So I made a video on how to make friends in the UK, and I'm going to drop the link in the description box, okay? So you guys go and check that video out. And yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very useful, because you do need friends in the end. And I'm not saying like you shouldn't keep your friends from back home, you should definitely do that, but sometimes in a new environment you may also need new friends to just get along. The different kind of friends that help you in different ways. So yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Okay, guys. So okay, the third one is also another kind of like hardcore truth. And guys, stay with me till the end. The fifth one is going to blow your mind, because, well, that one has to do more with parents. And so just stay with me for the third one first. And by now, if you've not liked, and if you've not subscribed and you're watching this video, that's not very nice, guys. So like, comment and subscribe, because I'm going to be making 20s videos like this, and they're going to be very useful to, if you're going through it. Basically, this is a stage like I'm going through myself, like stuff I'm going through that I feel like can be useful for other people. And basically I'll be dropping videos like that on this channel. I don't want you to miss that out. So if you need tips and tricks on how to run around, how to do things in your 20s, finances, etc., I've made videos of that in the past, so that you don't miss these videos when they drop. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you can see when a new video comes in, guys. So going back to the third one, which is another like hardcore truths that I wish I had sort of like known in preparation for my 20s. And the third one is, whatever you're going through, you won't be the first and you won't be the last to go through it, guys. 20s are filled with like bloody roller coasters, guys. Like roller coasters. Hey. when everything is going fine, sometimes it could just be maybe your car gives you issues. It doesn't have to be your car. I'm just saying, generally, life, things just pop up, and like people lose loved ones. It may be good things sometimes, like love, you find the love of your life, like. But my point is that, but in 20s, because people, that's the stage where people are trying to grow. So it's almost like you're struggling, like kind of struggling out of a box. You're expanding your horizons and everything. So it's quite a challenging period of your life. Let's be very honest. So at this period, you may be going through some like down times as well as good times, but many down times. There could be disappointments, heartbreaks, etc. So this is a very crucial part of our lives, obviously. So yeah, it's quite useful to know that whatever you're going through, you won't be the first person to go through it, you won't be the last to go through it. And that's something that's one mentality that has helped me in life, because I just think that, you know what, someone else must have gone through this in the past and scaled through it, so I definitely would, and that definitely helps me. So yeah, it's quite useful to actually just know whatever you're going through, you're not alone, you're not the only one going through it. You're not the only one, people are even going through what. So I think in my early 20s, one thing I really did was, whenever I was going through something, I'll run to my friend, run to this person, talk. I'm not saying it's not nice to talk to friends and everything, but there are some things that, you know what, just keep to yourself, because these are things that happen in life, and you know what, you'll be fine in the end. So it's quite useful to just know that, oh, whatever you're going through is not you, I'm not cursed. You know, there's no X on me, like I'm fine. It's just one of the normal processes of life. It's quite useful to know that, and yeah, knowing that has basically helped me. So yeah, whatever you're going through, heartbreak, whatever, just know you're not alone. So that way you avoid, I feel like when you know that, it kind of helps you to avoid like talking about everything that happens in your life to other people, like exposing yourself fully to other people. Because as much as you need to like tell your friends what you're going through and whatever, there's a level of privacy you also want to keep in your life for yourself, you know, because it just makes sense to have some privacy in your life, I believe. So yeah, it's very important to know that whatever you're going through, you won't be the first person to go through that. And that just changed everything in my life, because yeah, it's nice to tell friends stuff and everything, but it's not everything that happens that you need to talk to someone about. You may even be stressing your friends out every time. This morning you call, this afternoon you call, this evening, because there will always be something coming up. So every moment you can't just like be that person that is always like a damsel in distress. Well, I'm speaking to myself too, because at some point in my life I was kind of that person. So yeah, that's just something I wish I knew, and that would have really changed the way I approach situations a lot, because sometimes I feel like, oh my god, I'm the only one in the world going through this.
So guys, we're going to part 2, but don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
So guys, the next one I really want to talk about is one that I think is now very common in our society. I see people do it everywhere. Instagram, Twitter. It's tiring, guys. It's about trash talking people. I get it that some people do not get their money legally or whatever, but there's this part of trash talking where people want to be like, they aspire to be like someone, yet they trash talk them on social media just because they think it's not possible. So because you see someone driving flashy stuff, doing this, doing that, it just assume, oh, it's a sugar daddy that did it for her, it's this person that did it for her, there's no way she can get this by working legally in real life. I feel like if you're someone that does that, then you're basically saying that there's no how you can achieve that legally, like, or you don't see yourself doing it. I understand that there's a brand of people, there's some people that actually do things funny and get their money in a funny way, but in the end, well, it's their business if you're not in law or whatever. But well, you also have your right to say whatever you want to say. But my big problem is the ones that talk about people they want to be like. So you aspire to be like this person, but because you think it's not possible, I feel like some people have certain funny mentalities. So if I'm telling you that, oh, I got this with my money, I got out of my money, like, no way, you definitely got the money from this place, you definitely got the money from that place, or oh, maybe your parents gave you the money, you know. And I clearly said that I did this, you know, making various kind of excuses just to prove a point that this thing that this person said they achieved is not possible. That's the problem. Don't trash talk people just because they're doing well, they're achieving certain things, and you think it's not possible. Don't do it. You're basically saying, or you're basically training your mind to think that it can't be possible for you. So if you want to achieve something, like, don't be the person talking bad about people just because they're achieving that thing you want to achieve. Congratulate them, pray that you get there someday, but don't trash talk people. This one is quite simple and straightforward, but it's become quite popular and normalized in our society, so don't be part of them. Don't join bad guys, okay? Guys, don't do it. That one's quite simple. So I'm going to move now to the next one, and now this one is talking about parents. So yeah, this is the one I promised to talk about. So it's quite very common for teenagers, and yeah, even as people become young adults, they start clashing with parents. Oh, you want to do this, but your parents can't understand why you want to do this. I see lots of these clashes and fights and whatever, but I don't know if people really realize that, look, you're from a different generation. You're from a generation where we are from a generation where social media is the order of the day. So pressing your phone, you may be working, but your parents are like, why are you always on your phone? You know what I mean? So no matter how that's a simple situation. It may range from as little as that to as big as, or big career decisions, and your parents not understanding why you have to do what you want to do. Understand or approach those situations understanding that you're from two different generations, and how you think is different. Like the way you think about things, the way you think about white collar jobs, for instance, the way you think about using your phone, everything is just very different, and that's okay. That doesn't have to be like a super big deal, as long as you approach it from the right perspective. They may not get it, but try to approach it next time when you approach those situations like that. Make sure you're doing it from point of view like, look, my parents don't just get what this is, and I need to make them understand this because we are from two different generations. That just saves you lots of stress. I don't believe in like now starting full-on wars with your parents, going on social media talking bad about them, etc. I feel like there are better ways to address things if you just think deeply and understand where they're coming from, and also understand why you're coming from where you're coming from, and that just saves everyone stress. Yeah, don't we all want like that drama-free life? So guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, especially if any of these points resonates with you. Of course, drop a comment in the comment box, and if you will be taking any of my advice, and if you think this is bad advice, also drop a comment in the comment section. It's totally acceptable. So guys, yeah, we've come to the end of this video. I hope these tips will be really helpful, because I feel like they changed my perspective about life in many ways, and yeah, they basically shaped how I think, how I address things, how I address situations, how I just think of things, how the fact that I won't call my friends again about certain things compared to at the beginning of my 20s, where every time I was always on the phone talking about this, talking about that. When a pin dropped from my bed, call my best friend to talk about it, you know. So yeah, guys, honestly, I feel like these tips will be really helpful. So yeah, make sure you apply it if it resonates with you, of course. But if it doesn't, yeah, you're free to, you know, drop that in the comment section, you know, just let me know. Okay, so we've come to the end of today's video. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Okay, so this is just one of the ways to sort of like level up in your 20s, and I'm going to see you in the next video, guys. Till next time, bye. Chef's kiss.